Good morning, everyone. KJ is almost here. I'm, 99.999 here. I think I've caught some kind of spring allergy or cold or something with the change of the weather, but it's been beautiful here in Tennessee. I hope everyone's having a good morning, day, or evening. I didn't know that I was going to be coming on here, but obviously, every time I go through the news feed, there's always something to talk about. And so it is, y'all. Obviously, March 11th, today, the hooker is going to absolutely represent herself. Isn't that special, y'all? Isn't that awesome? Well, anyway, good morning, Denise Gray. Good morning, all of y'all. Good morning. Let's see. Kenya Jam says, what an interesting few days this has been. So many responses and opinions about the hussy. She's scary. Her silence will come when she's returned to Idaho. Let's see what else she said. Sorry about that. I am waking up, y'all. When she comes to Idaho, where we paid good money to lock her up for life there. There you go, Canyon Jam. Hello, Beach Lady. I hope you had a good birthday. Sis, you should have been a detective. Morning. Just me, thank you for being here. Fancy Nancy Bergbauer, thank you for being here. Y'all, I put on the community wall the link here in about the next hour to an hour and a half, I think. Cresha K. Easton of Difficult Research is going to be opening up a live stream to deal with all of this today. She's going to have a Q&A. She's going to be talking about things that matter. In this case of Lori Daybell. So, hello, Philly. Hello, Michelle Flanagan, Erna Anspich, Dawn Spencer. Y'all having a good morning, day, or evening? Yes. Just Me said the hooker said the rings were for Zuzu and Alex. Yeah, I heard that, Just Me. But I guess her and, if you wanted, let's just, for the sake of argument, that was for them. Why didn't they use them? She got an explanation for that? I'm sure she does. Damn stupid ass lying woman. Oh, Mo M says, oh my gosh, yes, she did. Hello, CSI Crowdsource Illuminations. Michelle Flanagan says that was the worst lie ever. I don't know. The worst lie ever to me is for her to not tell the truth about the fact that she's a serial killer. But I understand where you're coming from there. But anyway, so let's just get to it because I'm not going to be on here long. I got to go in here and take me some freaking Benadryl or Zyrtec or something to get myself dried up. I'll probably get real sleepy. I am very, very excited to be going over there to Difficult Research to see what all Cresha's got for everybody. And, yes, Fancy Nancy, that's what they were saying. Hussy said they borrowed the rings for their wedding. Oh, yeah. Denise Gray says, I think her brain is fried. You put fired, but it's fried, right? Oh, yeah, Canadianness. Yes, Lori is a number. It's called 666. I'm just kidding. Good morning, Peg. How are you? Are you enjoying your coffee? I hope so. But anyway, so Justin Lum put on his Twitter some legal documents that she's filed. Now, I'm just not quite sure that these legal documents are for today's hearing or whether it's for the trial. Maybe y'all can clear that up for me. And there'll be a couple of other things that some of y'all on here know a hell of a lot more about this case than OKJ can help me out with. But I wanted to go over that real quickly with y'all. It's Defendant's Supplemental Rule 15.3 Notice of Defenses and Disclosure. Now, do y'all remember? Some of y'all were really listening. Some of y'all really do. When we talked about self-defense in Arizona, and she's listed out the defense notices the following defenses. So Lori in her jail cell, or I don't know if they got a law library there, but it says the defendant the defense notices the following defenses, and we'll get to that, but it does say the defendant submits the following supplemental disclosure pursuant to Arizona Criminal Procedure 15.2. But then it goes into the part that interests me, and that is that Lori notices the following defenses. And this is A through F. Now, just think about this. She's trying to figure out, because she's going to represent herself, the defenses that she could use in this trial. Now, what's interesting is there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. So which one is it, woman? Which one is it? Is it all of them? Is it like going to a salad bar and just, I'll have some cucumber here, I'll have some croutons, I'll have a little ranch dressing, maybe a little vinaigrette, maybe I'll just go over to the hot bar and get me anything and everything better than the shit I'm eating here in this jail cell, right? Gene P says, I saw her defense witness list. It's a doozy. Yes, we'll get to it. Yes, Mo M. Cafeteria plan, KJ. She's gonna, the old saying, y'all. Spaghetti. Throw it on the wall and see what sticks. But the first one is insufficiency of the state's evidence. Well, I'll tell you what, y'all. This damn hussy can sit there all she wants and say insufficiency of the state's evidence. I guarantee you, they would have never charged her ass unless they had the evidence to do it. And in my opinion, the key of it all will be 404B material. But, she wants to say there's not enough evidence to even take her to trial. That's her defense, y'all. B, the obvious one, self-defense, y'all. Self-defense, she was defending herself, y'all. She was defending herself from committing conspiracy to commit murder. She obviously has a screw loose, because conspiracy to commit murder doesn't have to necessarily mean that you pulled the trigger on anybody. We all know Alex Cox, that damn asshole. He probably did it. Some of y'all think they both did it, or she did it, and Alex made up the whole self-defense crap. So she's going to go with that one. I believe that's the only way she can go. Here's another one, y'all. Defense of others. Defense of others. Now, let's break that down. Charles Vallow was shot and killed, and he was murdered, but let's just say shot and killed because he was going to hurt her, Alex, Tylee, and JJ. Give me a break. Give me a break. The only one that ever had a propensity for violence is Alex Cox. Alex Cox did what he did to Joe Ryan, leading up to this stuff with Charles Vallow. Lori, her text messages are going to bear out all this Ned Schneider bullshit. Lori is in an affair. There's no two ways about it. She wants to be with that little itty-bitty gherkin. Because it don't matter, y'all. It don't matter how big a man is, if you know what I mean. She wouldn't have been able to feel it anyway, so why not? Why not get Chad Daybell and pretend that she's actually feeling it? Yeah, right. She thought no one could see any of this stuff, and it's all on TV. Lori's going to fall onto the courtroom floor. Oh, Mo M. Lori thinks that she's going to float across the courtroom floor like the lowercase g that she is, don't you know? Oh, yeah, flicking them nickels. That's what I'm talking about. Justine says, all for Tylee. No, ma'am, she was the only danger to those children. Right. She is a convicted murderer of the people, she says. The defense of others. The defense of others. Oh, Charles was taken over by Ned Schneider. And she had to defend herself and her children and all that from him because he is a zombie. He is an evil entity. She could kill him with her powers because she's translated. But, then she gets to kill him and go on to Idaho and kill her children, right? The ones that she's trying to defend. Give me a break. Then the next one was one of the defenses is a third party is at fault. Charles Vallow made an agreement with that hooker to come over there and pick JJ up for school. It is not his fault that she and Alex planned this to get his life insurance money. It is not his fault that she ambushed his ass. Calling Alex over there the night before, he's bringing his gun and all of that. Third party at fault. Yeah, well, if there's a third party at fault, it's that damn asshole Chad Daybell, along with Lori. And from what many of y'all said on her stupid ass interview, she, at this point, y'all, this is just my opinion, all these years we talked about it. We talked about who really was the mastermind. After seeing her in action, y'all. Not this stupid ass interview at the police station where she's crossed her legs. Oh, I'm so, I wear the yoga pants and he's just so mean to me and all that. You get to see the diabolical nature of how she operates. So this third party at fault type thing, I'm sure she has to. She goes with self-defense. She's going to say, we were just trying to save ourselves and all this. But again, y'all, it's obvious she doesn't understand the concept of conspiracy to commit murder. Okay? Not conspiracy to save their lives because Charles was going to kill them or hurt them. And Alex had to do what Alex had to do. Alex Cox, if he was in that much freaking danger, he could have diffused the situation and walked right out the door with Tylee and JJ, with Lori and them, and it would have all been that. But no, what does he do? He turns around and goes back into his room. At least that's what he says. And he is shitting in one hand and hoping in another by saying that. The bottom line is you don't go back in your room, grab a gun. That is intent. That is his mens rea is to go back in there and do what? Threaten him with a gun? Threaten him with it? No, he absolutely, in my view, when Charles came in there and Lori riled him up over the cell phone, if that's indeed what happened, that gave them the pretext to just open fire on him. And when they shot him, he fell, landed on his back, and then Alex walked right up to him and shot him again. They wanted that $1 million. They wanted that $1 million. And don't you find it interesting that none of her text messages before or after Charles was murdered is she even talking about, oh, it was terrible. I just hated that it happened. And Charles did this and Charles does that. No, but we've got what? Her in the backyard over by the pool or whatever. And Zulema's over there, or I think it was Melanie Gibb or someone saying that Alex said he had superhuman strength because he had that evil entity in him and all of that. That's going to come in. There's no talk about, let's just look at it like this. If this happened to you and it really was in defense of others, it was self-defense, don't you think you would be in your text messages or statements to others or anything like that, going over and over and over again, oh, I can't believe it happened and all this and that? No, there's statements like, well, he must have changed the insurance policy after he became Ned Schneider. And it's like a freaking arrow in my heart. Give me a break. She's going to know what an arrow in her heart is, so to speak, when she gets to Pocatello, because there are a lot of different items at a woman's prison that will absolutely pierce her, if you know what I mean. And she's going to learn all about it. She's going to know all about things piercing her when she goes to Pocatello Women's Prison for the rest of her freaking days. Yeah, Gene P. Garrett, Ned Schneider, whoever, it don't make a damn bit of difference. The bottom line is how about this? Try this on for size. If she really believed that, why in the hell, if you thought there was a zombie, a Garrett, or a Ned Schneider, and it's so bad that she's like, I could kill you with my powers, Charles. that she would take his phone and rile him up even more? Because she wouldn't be riling up Charles, right? She's riling up the demon in there. Give me a break. Bring her back. Bring her back. Bring her back. We want our lifer back. Shut her up in Pocatello with life without parole, says Canyon Jam. Fancy Nancy says, who can keep up with her demon names? Well, Chad did. Chad kept changing the script. You know, when things didn't work out, it's agency. It's agency. That's why, Lori, my seeing beyond the veil shit didn't work. Mo M says, you know, she told Keith Morrison he didn't know what he was talking about regarding Charles saying Ned Schneider. I just like, oh my gosh. Right, Mo M. It's cut and dry. She's had a lot. I mean, if she's going to go so far as to blame her own daughter, the one she murdered, for killing JJ and herself, she'll say anything. She'll say anything. So, insufficiency of state's evidence, self-defense, defense of others, third party at fault, and the mere presence, okay? Her defense is the fact that Charles was even there, the mere presence of him, somehow that set all this chain of events off where they had to do self-defense and all that. Well, she's the freaking damn prostitute, concubine, that agreed for him to come over and pick up JJ. If she's so damn scared of him, why have him come over there to pick him up? Because she was laying the trap. She was laying the trap for the ambush because they wanted that $1 million, don't you know? And then finally, she puts in the final one, procedural, which she don't know her ass in the hole in the ground on any of that. I'm assuming her Daybell team is going to help her with that one. So that's that. But when I saw the legal document on Justin Lum's Twitter there, it wasn't where you could copy it. It was like he took a picture of it, and some of it was like on the edge of it. You couldn't read what it was and all of that. But I did get he talked about the witnesses that she is disclosing, and he even goes on to say, well, Nate Eaton, which is one of the witnesses that she's disclosing for her defense, hasn't even been served with anything. It's not served for anything for today's hearing or the trial. So that's why I'm thinking maybe she's using Nate Eaton's name for the trial because he's not been served to come in there to do anything for today's hearing. And y'all remember what today's hearing is about. It's about, oh, I've been slandered by Court TV and I don't want them to do the cameras in here. Give me a break. She didn't have a problem with Dateline NBC. So all witnesses listed in State's Rule 15.1 disclosure, says the legal document from Lori. The first one was the custodian of any and all records and exhibits, which would be, common sense would be the clerk there. The custodian of that, the one that keeps all those records, whether they're sealed or not. So she wants that county clerk, the Maricopa County clerk there, to be a witness. Then she goes on to Nate Eaton, which, what the hell is... You know what I think? I think she just listed his name to be provocative. Or in her stupid ass mind think, yes, I never did get the interview that I wanted in Idaho because they wouldn't allow it in the jail there. So now the closest thing I can do, along with my nasty ass makeup and my barrel rolls and to try to be the queen that I am, is to get Nate Eaton. I've got to get him one way or the other because when my ass goes back to Pocatello Women's Prison, Nate Eaton and nobody in Idaho, according to the Division of Prisons, is going to allow me a sit down. So how am I going to do this? I need Nate Eaton to come along. Well, let her have him come in as a defense witness. I'm sure Nate Eaton will just tell the truth. And of course, the state of Arizona will be there to say, you want to open that damn door? You want to open it up? Well, you want to have Nate Eaton up here. Nate Eaton absolutely was the one saying, Lori, where are your kids? Where are your kids, Lori? While she's walking down the sidewalk in Hawaii. What does Nate Eaton, why isn't she wanting to disclose on her witness list Justin Lum, who's actually in Arizona, who is actually, I know Nate Eaton has covered it too, but Justin Lum is the man, okay? Why isn't she getting him on her witness list? Then you got Valicia, and I can't say her last name. Y'all know that's Tylee Ryan's best friend. Yeah, go ahead, Lori. Put her on your defense witness list and just traumatize her just a little bit more since you murdered her best friend. Go ahead, do it. What is this young lady going to say that is going to help Lori prove her defense of self-defense or defense of others? Valicia cannot talk about what her and Tylee have talked about if, remember y'all that motion from the state? Tylee Ryan's hearsay statements. So there you go, shutting the door on that. But she's going to put her in there. Could you imagine this young lady who's been through all she's been through, finding out that this damn murdering woman who murdered her best friend has got her on a defense witness list? That's got to be very unsettling and traumatic. But she don't care. She don't care at all. Just as we said when we found out she was going to represent herself. All she's doing is hurting others because that's what demons do. They want to continue to twist that knife. They want to continue to pour salt in the wounds. That's all Lori's objective really is. And then you got Gabrielle Bonilla. Is that, now somebody set me straight on that. Gabriel Bonilla, isn't that the guy that was there for Charles when Charles was talking to the police on the body cam? Is that who that is? Somebody set me straight. Again, I don't know everything. Is that who that is? It's the bishop, says Donna. Donna, sis, you should have been a detective. I like Donna Donald. I missed her, but I love your new YouTube name too, sis. But yes, it's the bishop. Is it the bishop that was there with Charles that didn't basically stand up for him? Is that who that is? Somebody tell me. I want to know. Donna, do you know? Teresa, yeah, because she's self-representing herself. I'm interested in that. I've never seen a case this complex, and especially with her, I've never seen nothing like that. I didn't watch Daryl Brooks. I've never seen someone self-represent themselves when they are a convicted serial killer, okay? Not to mention, my heart goes out to Charles Vallow and his family. So yes, Donna says yes, that's who it is. It is the bishop Charles told about what was going on. So somehow Lori thinks this bishop is going to come to her defense as a witness. So that's interesting. I wonder if he's changed his tune. Because if I was the state cross-examining her witness there, that bishop, I'd say, why didn't you take him serious? Wasn't he scared? Wasn't he upset? And then you've got Joseph Pongratz. Now, who is that? Donna, do you know anyone? Y'all, I need your help on this. This was just news given to me this morning. Yes, I can go over here to the computer after I get off here and figure that out. Donna says, I think Lori is correct. The bishop will stand by Lori and the church. Yeah. Anything to hide the secrets, right? Anything to hide the stuff that they don't want the general public to know about. Does anybody know who that is? This Joseph Pongratz? That's what it's all about, y'all. Research and analysis here. If any of y'all are on here thinking I've got these answers lined up, I don't. I can come to y'all later or put them on the community wall after I've had time to research it. But like I said, I learned about it. Besides that, I'm running up against time because Cresha K. Easton of Difficult Research, I put the link on the community wall. I'm going over there. I want to know what she's going to be doing. This Joseph Pongratz is the homeowner. The homeowner of that house. Is that what the house that Charles was murdered in? Alpha Fem-X-Teen, it's Pongratz. Could somebody quickly go and Google that? His name is Joseph Pongratz. Okay, Donna's done said it. This is the one that owns the house that Charles was murdered in, and he's the one that was renting it out to Lord. He's the one that asked her to leave after all this went down, and I don't blame him one damn bit. Could you imagine owning a nice home like that to rent out to people, and somebody gets murdered in it? I mean, he probably could rent it out, but he's going to have to disclose that somebody was murdered right there in the living room. Rachel Black says the church has attorneys who will probably stop the bishop from testifying. Good point, Rachel Black. Didn't think about that. Y'all remember a few years back, they came out with this really kind of weird statement about you need to get in touch with legal aid before you start talking to anybody. That's some crazy ass shit. They're the ones that are saying we respect authority. We go by the laws of this country. But hey, instead of cooperating, because we're kind of concerned that maybe we'll get dragged into this, y'all, it is what it is. Yes, Gene P., who is that? That was the next one. Ashlyn Rind, R-Y-N-D. Who is that, Gene P.? Could you please tell us? This is where I ask for the Rays and others to step up and give us a little insight. And I'm sure Kresha knows all these names, y'all. But again, we're together. Alpha Fem-X-Teen, Christine says that's another one of Tylee's friends. Okay, so let's traumatize her some. Then we get to Barry Cox. Y'all, wouldn't that be interesting? We've not heard anything from old Barry boy, Mr. Anti-Government and all that. She wants her daddy there. She wants her daddy there at her defense. That's what she wants. What's he gonna say? I raised a good girl who's never been in trouble, but Charles Vallow was a bad person or something? Because it's obvious that Charles was the best damn thing that ever happened to her. She spent most of her years married to him than anyone else. Give me a break. Oh, you think so, Donna? Since you have been a detective? I think she wants to keep the witness list people kept out of the courtroom and never call them. Well, if she puts them on the witness list, guess what? Once they're on the witness list, I can see them being left out of the courtroom. But once she puts them on there, that's fair game for the state of Arizona. Zachary Cox and Adam Cox. Well, there you go, y'all. She wants Zachary Cox and Adam Cox to be on her defense witness list. The question is the state has not released their witness list that I'm aware of. And for all we know, Zachary Cox, Adam Cox could be on their witness list, and she's just listing them. You know? And Jamie Cox, is that Adam Cox's wife? Is Jamie Cox Adam Cox's wife? Then you got Summer Shishlet. That's what it's spelled like on the document, y'all. S-H-I-S-L-E-T. She can't even damn spell her own sister's last name. It's Summer Shishlet. Okay, Summer Shishlet. Do you want some slitchel? Do you want some little weenies with kraut? What is it? Stitzel? Whatever. It's one thing to have a witness list, a whole different story about actual testimony. The state will really make hay. So then you got, last but not least, one of her defense witnesses will be Brandon Boudreaux. And, you know, that's going to be interesting because I guarantee you that Brandon Boudreaux is on the state of Arizona's witness list. But she's putting him down as a defense witness. Like Brandon Boudreaux is going to prove something that somehow Brandon Boudreaux is going to come to her defense about Charles Vallow. The only thing Brandon Boudreaux, I mean, if she wants to call Zachary Cox, Adam Cox, Brandon Boudreaux, Nate Eaton, the two friends of Tylee. Is any of them going to say anything other than she might have questions like, was I a good mother? You know, talking about, do you remember, Vice? Yeah, where I took you, you know, Tylee, and we would take you on vacations and yada, yada, yada. You know, trying to paint herself as this wonderful, wonderful mother. I guess it's going to be interesting when the state of Arizona has, if they're able to, bring in that Lori helped Tylee to heaven because Tylee had pancreatitis. Give me a break. Rachel Black says Adam Cox said he's testifying for the prosecution. Gene P says on the Rexburg PD body cam in Lori's apartment, there was a lease signed with the last name Rind. Everyone tried to tell me it was Ryan, but I know what I saw. Okay, Gene P. I know you're very articulate. I take your word for it. Yeah, we've got some trolls on here, people that don't have lives. Fancy Nancy says, I will have to get out my cotton candy maker for this shit show. Stacy Santa Maria says that Lori was so crazy and condescending to Keith. Good question, Gene P. Why is that Cox and not Cole? What's interesting about her disclosure of her witnesses, where are all the people, y'all? Where are all the people? Where are the witches? Where are the people that believe in Lori? The ones that held her and Chad up just long enough for them to murder everybody. Because I've said it many times. If these people wouldn't have been believing Chad and Lori, none of this shit would have ever happened. None of it would have. Because you got, in order to be a cult leader, and people think, oh, okay, Jay, that's going a road too far. No, to be one of these stupid ass occult leaders, you got to have people following you to build you up. Right, CSI. No Melanie Boudreaux? Just Brandon Boudreaux? Well, Lori, you know, it's a dagger to her heart, CSI, that Melanie Boudreaux there, or Melanie Pulaski, has turned on her Aunt Lori. Bottom line is she had to get herself out of trouble. Any way that she could get out of trouble, she was going to get herself out of trouble. Her, Zulema, Melanie Gibb, David Warwick, they all should be in a jail cell right now. Trevor Levesque, I told everybody who was on Lori's list. Nate Eaton, Vaisia, which was Tylee's friend, another young lady, Ashlyn Rind. Well, someone says Ashlyn Rind was a friend of Tylee's. Gene P says that it's someone who helped sign the lease. Okay, Donna. I'll have to check that out. Nate Eaton has done an interview with Ashlyn Rind. Okay, so it would seem to me that he wouldn't have done an interview with someone whose name was signed on a lease or something, though, GP. It would seem that would be something maybe having to do with the storage unit stuff, perhaps. That's okay, Trevor. I thought you were in here. I apologize. I thought you had been here. But anyway, you got Zachary Cox, Barry Cox, Adam Cox, Jamie Cox, Summer Shiflett, and Brandon Boudreaux. Gene P, Donna, or somebody on here said that this Ashlyn was one of Tylee's friends. This Ashlyn Ryan. And Donna says that Nate Eaton done an interview with this Ashlyn Ryan, so that would tell you who that is. I haven't watched it. Donna, sis, you should have been a detective, says Ryan testified that Tylee was very protective of her younger brother. And what kind of defense does Lori seem to think she can extract from that? Nothing. Nothing. I guess she has to put something, right? Maybe she's putting these names down knowing good damn well she ain't going to call them to the stand. She just wants to ruffle their feathers, cause them some discomfort or trauma. That's what demons do. So that's pretty much it, y'all. So today, they're going to talk about cameras in the courtroom, and I can't wait for the state of Arizona to talk about her Dateline NBC interview there. Y'all, Keith Morrison, when he wasn't interviewing her, they had the other segments and everything. Court TV said nothing different than what Dateline NBC said about the hooker. So this whole argument about, well, Dateline NBC's okay because they didn't libel and slander me, but Court TV did. She's absolutely, I mean, Dateline NBC pretty much let everybody know how guilty she was and how much of a serial killer she was. No different than what Court TV did, right? Gene P, the second friend, Donna has put it on here, was Ashlyn Ryan. That's who Ashlyn Ryan was. It's Vaisia and Ashlyn. Okay, that's what it is. Donna says, I'm surprised Lori doesn't want to model around in front of the camera for days. So anyway, many of y'all are already subscribers to Crescia K. Easton's Difficult Research. You know to be there. For those that don't know who she is or don't know how to, don't know how to get that on the community wall is the link. I'm going to be there. I know many of the Rays are going to be there. We're going to be there to support Crescia. Again, Lori is having her hearing this morning pertaining to whether or not cameras are in the courtroom or not. She damn shit in her own shoe by doing that Dateline NBC if indeed she didn't want cameras in the courtroom. Yes, Donna says Crescia has a scheduled live. Yes, Alpha Fem, she does, and it's going to be going on here within the hour. Yes, Gene P. We were talking about that. Lori's going to have a real hard time cross-examining medical examiners, law enforcement, people with, like, say, digital forensic knowledge. And then you, of course, bring up Melanie Gibb. That's going to be very interesting. And again, I said it, y'all. After that Dateline NBC interview, we knew she was unhinged. But now we get to see how her personality actually operates better. And the jury's not going to like a damn thing about the hooker. Yeah, Alpha Fem, we're all going to do that. So anyway, I love y'all. Thank y'all for being here. Again, Lori is going to be talking about cameras in the courtroom. I can't wait to see her slammed. I can't wait for her to be corrected. I can't wait for her to fall flat on her face like she has every time. Obviously, if she does make it through, it's because one of her stupid ass standby counsel is whispering in her ear. Either way it goes, I love you all. Thank y'all for being here and keep on looking.